Hello friends, this is John Herrera with MuniTemps, and today's City Speak podcast, Work from Home, New Norm for Municipal Workers. The 2020 coronavirus pandemic surprised most people in the world in March of 2020. This includes city leaders at City Hall and other municipal and local government organizations. And although City Hall and other government offices had to close their doors to prevent the spread of the virus, public services had to continue to be carried out. Thus, municipal employees were willing participants in the work from home directives from City Hall and other government offices. I say willing participants because many surveys say that 80% of employees have enjoyed being able to see their family during the day now that they work from home. Nevertheless, 66% of workers prefer working in the office or workplace over working at home. And of course, not all municipal workers are allowed or able to work from home. In fact, during the last decade, the education level of the worker plays a large part in determining whether an employee is a good candidate to work from home. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics did a survey in 2010 that showed that employees with a bachelor's degree and higher were over 3 times as likely to be working from home compared to workers with less than a high school diploma. Personally, I have found that regardless of education level, those of you who are most organized can work independently without supervision, and especially those of you who are good communicators, you are the strongest candidates to be allowed the opportunity to work from home as a telecommuter remote worker municipal employee. In today's City Speak blog, podcast, and video post, we will discuss 6 areas that local government leaders can consider to decide to maintain or expand work from home options for their employees after coronavirus pandemic subsides. Think of the possibilities. Think of productivity. Think of the risks. Think outside the box. Trust systems and internal controls. And this is an opportunity for humans to compete with artificial intelligence and robots. Let's first talk about think of the possibilities. As a municipal employee at City Hall for 30 years, I can honestly say that local government organizations are significantly more bureaucratic than private businesses. The red tape that all stakeholders must go through, including paperwork, documentation, that does not always add value to the business processes of the organization, much less the mission statement or vision of the community that it serves. In prior City Speak podcasts, I've talked about how the goals of efficiency and customer service are sometimes subordinated to the individual goals of self-preservation. There's many instances where these self-preservation goals resulted in municipal employees defaulting to the "it's the way we've always done it here" mantra that perpetuates unnecessary bureaucracy and red tape without adding much, if any, value to the core values of the municipal organization. With the coronavirus pandemic and the economic impacts from the loss of tax revenues, this has created a huge opportunity for local government managers to reassess their policies and procedures, as well as redesign and implement better systems to provide an acceptable level of customer service with the existing human and capital resources available to the organization. Municipal employees and management should explore the possibilities of using work from home policies, procedures, and systems to not only allow their organizations to do more with less, but also to improve the business processes to optimize efficiency, customer service standards, stakeholder satisfaction, and the efficiency and productivity in delivering the general government services that ensure the efficient delivery of municipal services to the community. Secondly, let's talk about think of the productivity. The work from home possibilities exist mostly in the general government services activities at City Hall and other municipal organizations. General government services are the activities that ensure the efficient or inefficient delivery of municipal services to the communities they serve. At the risk of having tomatoes thrown at me, I will ask the comical question, how many municipal employees does it take to change a light bulb? Just kidding. Of course, I'm joking. Most municipal employees work hard and are productive in doing their jobs. However, there is always room for improvement. I know the constraints and the opportunities in municipal government. I do. Don't forget, I was a municipal employee for 30 years working at offices at City Hall and special districts. I had to work through various discussions during those 3 decades, during which my job and the job of the staff in my departments were put under scrutiny. Every few years when we went through costing government service exercises, especially when updating our fee and charge studies, the services of my job and department was put under a microscope. The goal was to analyze the cost of services that I and other department staff delivered and to see to what extent our jobs were user fee supported. This analysis also showed what part of my job was paid for through user fees and how much was supported, subsidized through local taxes. We looked at many municipal services, fee supported or not, as part of the budget process. Here's just a partial list of the activities and services we costed out using information from the budget. Conducting recruitments, processing building permits, processing plan checks, issuing a check, issuing a purchase order, completing the annual budget, preparing the budget, city clerk agenda packet processing, city clerk public records request, public works utility services. The focus was on looking at the performance budgeting system to track not only the resources appropriated to a department, but also what the money was used for, down to the cost of each activity or service level. I didn't like it much then, but in retrospect, I see now that the interests of our citizens, businesses, and other stakeholders should come before our personal focus on self-preservation or job autonomy. Our focus as municipal employees should always be on advancing accountability and transparency as a fundamental core value of our work as municipal employees. The administrative and fiscal exercise to look at the cost of delivering municipal services achieved so much more than just greater cost recovery from user fees. It also showed us where we could improve productivity and efficiency of how we delivered public services. Of course, we cannot think about the rewards of greater efficiency and productivity without thinking of the risks of work from home opportunities on the effectiveness of our organization's business processes. So think of the risks. Yes, there are risks from allowing more municipal employees to work from home. What are they? There's a variety of disadvantages that municipal managers are concerned about, but here's 7 to think about. 1, a lack of community and differences in culture, employee retention, communication, difficult to manage and maintain accountability, loss of productivity, security concerns, and there was a couple others there. The point is that during this pandemic, employees need to work with management to come up with a good way to mitigate all of these disadvantages, especially to achieve accountability, productivity, and security concerns. We'll watch for academia to publish studies on this special topic as work from home continues as a viable solution to help stop the spread of the coronavirus. The 7 concerns we talked about must be considered to maintain the public trust. However, with proper implementation of administrative and financial systems and internal controls, managers can work to achieve and mitigate the risks that we're talking about. Internal controls and trusting our systems. During the last 8 months, municipal organizations have been faced with mandatory work from home initiatives to get municipal employees out of the office and still provide general government services to the organizations and communities they serve. This has been especially possible as many municipalities have implemented cloud-based ERP systems to provide general government services in their organizations. Using existing ERP systems that provide the administrative and financial infrastructure for local governments, especially those modified to allow work from home capabilities during coronavirus, city managers and other local government leaders can have greater trust that these can be used remotely to address the items that we just discussed as disadvantages for work from home and the concerns associated with that. In the finance department, where the money jobs exist, municipal finance officers are very used to continually refining their internal controls to ensure these concerns that we just discussed are mitigated of the risk exposure. During the annual audit, the period that goes from August to December, city and local government organizations have their internal controls tested by their independent auditors. The independent auditors follow the AICPA Statement on Auditing Standards, SAS number 78, to report on the organization's effectiveness with internal controls. Because SAS 78 is a process affected by an entity's board of directors, city council, management, and other personnel, designed to provide reasonable assurance regarding the achievement of objectives in these categories. A, reliability of financial reporting. B, effectiveness and efficiency of operations. And C, compliance with applicable rules and regulations. So with an effective system, especially the ERP system, and sound framework of internal controls, municipal employees from City Hall and other local government organizations can mitigate the risks and disadvantages when allowing general government services to be performed remotely via work from home initiatives. The entire notion of work from home is a novel idea caused by the novel coronavirus. This innovation, though, is now an urgent need to be considered, especially by city managers, general managers, and other municipal leaders who think outside the box to facilitate innovative approaches to do more with less while providing an acceptable level of customer service to the customers and stakeholders of the organization and the community it serves. So let's talk now about think outside the box. Thinking outside the box is an adage that has become cliche to many, yet it is powerful as ever. Every municipal organization likely carries out management retreats, at least annually. Creativity and innovation should always be a part of the brainstorming exercises, right? Further, if our municipality has gone through this exercise in the past, why not dust them off instead of leaving them gathering dust in some bookshelf at City Hall or other government office? And if you do a retreat with management and with employees, there are many simple and fun games that can be used to show the value of creativity and brainstorming exercises. Thinking outside the box game is one where you can go to look at it on my written blog at MuniTemps.com, click on City Speak podcast. But in the written blog, play the 9-dot game to see if you can think outside the box and, with 4 straight lines, not lifting up your pen. See if you can solve that. But that's an example of thinking outside the box. Kind of silly, but it's powerful. And as we have said many times, city managers and general managers, they don't lead municipal organizations just to deliver services. No, they lead their organizations to create solutions to municipal problems that require innovation to think outside the box. There's many many advantages for municipal employees as a group from thinking outside the box. You know, the greatest threat to municipal employees in the next 5 to 10 years is artificial intelligence, AI, and robots that are taking over our jobs. As I wrote in a prior City Speak blog article, when robots get physical with humans, I highlight the impacts that technology, automation, and AI and robots will have on a large percentage of the jobs currently performed by local government employees. You know, you can go and look it up on my website in the written blog. But anyways, you can accuse me of suffering from a bad case of the cyberphobia illness, but you only have to look at the colossal impact that technology and automation has caused during the last 20 years. And with the exponential technological gains that AI is making in the year 2020, it's not very far-fetched to believe that municipal employees who do not train and prepare to compete with AI and computer automation during the coming years will find their jobs lost even before they retire. AI expert Kai-Fu Lee said in Fortune.com magazine that he believes, quote, 40% of the world's jobs will be replaced in the next 15 years by robots capable of automating tasks. This number could be higher or lower depending on the job classification of each position. So what I'm saying to all of you municipal employees, be like, remember that tough worker, real John Henry, who showed the power of the human spirit in beating the machine and technology with his hard work. There's a saying that what doesn't kill us makes us stronger, right? Make no mistake about it, change will happen. And the high-tech impacts of AI and robotics will continue to have an impact on the jobs of municipal employees because of the city budget deficits projected in many organizations, largely driven by public employee pensions and declining tax revenues. So, in conclusion, if this 2020 coronavirus recession delays the economic recovery, your municipal organizations will be in a stronger position to the extent you have good work from home programs that integrates with your municipality's ERP system and framework of internal controls. So as we conclude, I challenge you municipal employees to obligate yourselves to success against inefficiency and all of the areas of improvement that we need in our municipal organizations. Look to improve your organizational skills and your communication skills so that your supervisors can have full trust and confidence in your ability to work productively from home. The possibilities and productivity gains, this is for city managers and leaders, possibilities and productivity gains from allowing your most organized employees to work from home are great. If you think outside the box and trust your system of internal controls, you can mitigate the calculated risks of work from home policies down to a tolerable level. The rewards your municipal organization, your employees, and all stakeholders of your community are great. So please consider the benefits that we've discussed in the 6 areas that deal with work from home. This is a great opportunity, although we're living through the most difficult health pandemic that we've lived through in over 100 years. This is a good time for us to regroup, rethink, refocus, refresh how we work, and rethink the opportunities for working from home. So thank you for your attention. I thought this was something that was timely to talk about. Please continue to email me, john@MuniTemps.com. Go to my website, MuniTemps.com, and look up all my contact information, including my phone number. And I'd be glad to have conversations about what topics you would like for me to discuss in the future. But again, this is John Herrera from MuniTemps, City Speak Podcast. See you next time. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the City Speak podcast. Tune in next time where we will talk again about everything relevant to stakeholders at City Hall and municipal government organizations.